And I should be live. I seem to be live. I'm live everywhere. Hi, guys. It's me. I'm back. Whoops, it's past 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm just going to be leveling up my now level 27 Guardian. It's only the 5th Guardian I've ever leveled up, so I'm not very good at it. That was, joke. I mean, not funny, but a joke. I just felt like leveling up one of my lower level characters, and so here we are. Gosh darn it. Doing exactly that. So right now I'm just going to do a map completion here on this map. Because this tends to be the way I start leveling up a character. I'll do 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 map completions. For the starter zones. What the shit is that? Oh my, what the hell is this crap? I've spent the entire time freaking CC'd. Well, that was really annoying. Good evening to whomever has joined me. Hey, Ding28. I'm a winner. For, you know, really small values of winning. There's a person named Distraction Noodles just sitting there. I have no idea why. I'm not finding them especially distracting. Maybe slightly distracting. Hey, he woke up. All I had to do was mention his name. And this should get me a heart completion. There we go. We're now 82% done with this map. Give or take. And so it's just going to be a little lazy stream, because I feel like it. As I say in my subject for the evening's playtime. The joy and pain.
Always a pleasure.
Of a variety streamer. I can play whatever I want. That doesn't mean anyone's going to watch. And they don't actually have any harvesting tools, which I could use. Where's the nearest just plain old vendor? There. And we'll teleport because we're cheap. Well, fast. Not cheap. Well, I am cheap too, though. To be fair. Alright, alright. Hi, Hema.
You must visit more often.
Must I? I do not think I must visit more often. went away, and I double-clicked on it, but it didn't
Always a pleasure.
take. There we go. Because for more of the... Oh, look, hi, guys. I didn't realize you were here. I need to shoot you. And this is a Guardian, and you may say, Guardian? That sounds like a pistol. In fact, it's 2 pistols! And for those of us who have completed the necessary quest, we have access to the new weapons, even at starting levels. And that, in the case of Guardian, is main and offhand pistols, both. It's actually pretty good, kind of fun.
I'm glad to see that Jorah still commands his set, but I'm worried about...
Oops. Oops. My bad. Alright. I'm gonna go in here and beat up some guys. And some turrets, too.
Hurts, doesn't it?
We'll res this miner. He's just a miner for a heart of gold. And he's getting old. Destroy the machines, free any prisoners you may find. Is that what they are? Prisoners? That just says miners.
You're an eyeful.
Okay. I tried to free them. They didn't want to be freed. Evidently they're working with the dredge, which seems rather unlikely, I have to say. You gonna say I'm an eyeful too?
I pray to the spirits of the wild. They rarely answer.
Well, that's true. Is there any other... Normally I don't see all this ore just sitting around. Which makes me think there's an event going on, but there's no evidence that there's an event going on other than I think there should be an event going on. Dredge ore. Chunk of dredge ore. What am I supposed to do with dredge ore? I don't know. Oops! Oh, you little Mark II gun turret. What do I do with the dredge? Or it's an event item, but I don't see an event being listed as going on anywhere. Unless I'm supposed to take it out to one of the miners out here. I don't know. I don't know. How can I help? I will do.
Good hunting.
I don't know. It's an event thing, but there's no event going on. I am at a loss to explain. Not that that's particularly news. I am extremely proficient at not understanding things. I'm gonna shoot a rat because I can. That thing hits really hard. I like it. I mean, there's an event that opens this up, but that event is over. So I don't understand. Maybe the foreman wants it?
Hello, traveler.
Copper mace, copper sword. Not interested. Thanks, though.
Always a pleasure.
Build what? Got it. Yeah, he's got nothing he's doing either. I'm at a loss. Good evening. And welcome, as always. It's going to be a low-impact evening. I'm feeling lazy. Well, lazier than usual, even. So I'm just going to do some low-impact leveling. Good. Then you're in the right place. We will res this prisoner together, he and I. We're the good guys. Sort of. Catch. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with 40k. I still want to play more. I just, today, for whatever reason, wanted to do a little bit of the sort of low energy stuff. There is no knowing with me. My brain makes its decisions in ways that are a mystery, even to me. Spear gun I cannot use, and I don't need that because whatever event I was supposed to do that for wasn't running, or
I shall break
couldn't
you.
see, or something. Where are we at? We are 87% done with the map. I think these ones go to Trug. Yeah, he's going to give me 5 stones for those. The loose ore goes to Kakifine. Which is not a great name. It's not his fault, you know. I don't blame him. But I would have an issue with my parents had they named me Kakifine. One more loose ore might be sufficient. But this little doggy insists on playing. So, we now have 20 stones. Give these to Albin Chronicler. Got some rune stones. Take them all. And that's a heart complete. More XP. Over here, we've got a Vista, a Waypoint, and a Hero Point. The Hero Point. And we are 91% done with this map.
Splish, splash, foot on the pan. Ready? Yeah. Ooh,
Ooh-ha.
Water washes the surface. Battle alone can cleanse your insides. There. Now you're truly cleansed. in the steam with
I am truly cleansed. Thank goodness. I would have thought the shower I took earlier today would have been sufficient, but evidently no, to be truly cleansed. You got to get in a fight with a big burly Norn and then hop into the hot tub with him, which really sounds like something I'd rather skip. Unless maybe the relatively burly Norn is Erstigalken. Ooh. Oh, it's going to attack me. I'm going to grab the copper and then run.
Congratulations. Feel the fury.
Like that. %94 complete. Level 29. We got enough points to finish off? I don't think so. Not yet. Nope. 16 more. But we can activate Eternal Armory.
Seize the moment.
It's not really eternal. That's a bit of an overstatement. Excellent. The Sons of Svanir.
He is not to be feared, but embraced. He takes care of his own.
He's an elder dragon. He or she, because it's not clear. The voice is female for Jormag, which is kind of funny because the Sons of Svanir hate women, but they worship Jormag. It seems to me that the Sons of Svanir are a little bit confused.
Hurts, doesn't it?
I will say that guns are maybe not the best way of tearing apart tents and whatnot, but you know. Come back here, little wolfies. There we go, another heart complete. We're 95% done with the map. Map completion is the way I tend to do the low-level leveling for my characters, and sometimes the high-level leveling for my characters. Because I'm familiar with all of the stuff, so it goes relatively quickly. Mind you, I've got books that I could consume and immediately reach the level count. But I actually enjoy leveling.
Now I shall break you.
Which blows people's minds. I don't enjoy leveling generally anywhere near as much in other games as I do in this game. But I do like leveling in a lot of other games too. WoW leveling can be fine. Latro has gotten cumbersome because of the number of levels. 150 is a bit much. Performed 3 combo skills. Alright, well, we've got a POI down here. Did I not get the one at the... I went right by it. I would have sworn that I would have gotten it, but I did not. I have failed you and feel shame. There's a POI right here in front of this building. Gimme. We are 98% done. There is something to the northeast that we didn't grab. Wow. I swore we would have gone past that one too. I'm swearing about a lot of things that are not accurate right now, it seems like. No. Oh, the champion's up. There's a big meta event.
I like it.
Buttloads of players.
Sharper still.
I don't know exactly how many a buttload is, but so this was timely for my day. for me to show up here. Let's go ahead and give out some heals to my friends. We're not really friends. We haven't been introduced or anything. But I like to think of them as my friends. There's some more.
Feel the fury.
Oh, jerk ran away. He's afraid of me. That's what it is. So, I don't know, maybe a year ago they redid the world bosses like this for the first 5 maps. 4 of the 5 starting maps. The poor Char don't get a world boss. And revamped them, made them a lot more difficult, because previously this thing would last just a few seconds. For years, the power creep had crept him into oblivion. And I think recently they got around to nerfing his hit points. His hit points had overscaled, so that it took forever to kill him. It took longer to kill him than most raid bosses. But I think they did nerf his hit points. He's not long for this world now. Heals from my friends. They don't know my name, but they know my heals.
Just one more
Victory is
confirmation
ours.
of how great I am.
Don't run through the red spinning damagey stuff. Pretty sure I've got all the goodies. Yep. Auto loot. Let's see, a focus for 249, better than the one I'm using. A club, way better than the one I'm using. A pistol, better than either of the ones I'm using. Well, we'll equip that in the main hand then. No, I put it in the offhand because I'm a dope. We'll try that again. Flip, there we go. A new chest, that's better, and as is tradition when I'm leveling up a character. Alright, one sec. Focus, and slightly better. Gloves I can't wear, an axe I can use, 303 versus significantly better. The hammer is 313, significantly better. Lots of upgrades there. Very nice. I am magnifying lens, and I approve that message. And as is tradition when I'm leveling up a new character, every time I get a new item of attire, we randomly change my dyes. Current dye scheme is Celestial Blue, Chalkboard, and Graphite, but now it's Peach Tint, Evening Red, and Mint Breeze. Gotta say, the Mint Breeze, not really working for me, but that's, you know, when you go random, you're random. And we are about to level up because right over here, we're going to glide. There it is. Dun, 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 dun. That is the map completion. We have about a 30% chance, I think the number is, to get a key. Word of my deeds, Air Stick Alkin. Thanks, Air. About 30% chance, I think, to get a key, a Black Lion key. No such luck in this map. These are not as good as the gloves I'm currently wearing. Can't use that. I was robbed.
We have completed the task at hand.
Clearly, undeniably, I was robbed. Okay. Well, next up, we'll go to Mistlock. We'll grab a couple more bags because this character actually ran out of bag space earlier because I have 2 bag slots I haven't filled with bags because it's a new character. Newish. Created it a while ago. Just haven't leveled it up. My daily gathering yield.
Mine. All mine.
We'll go to the merchant. We'll sell our junk. Including 9 chunks of pure jade. Get a couple of bags from the guild. Alt. There we go. And next, I think we'll go to Ratasum, the Asura homeland. Good evening, everybody. So it's weird. Three days ago, I had 2 people follow. I got notified, got an email about one of them following. Yesterday, a person followed. I didn't get an email about them. And 7 hours ago, another person followed, and I didn't get an email about them. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know if it's Twitch. It's got to be Twitch. I don't know why they're not sending them. Maybe they hate me. I'm going to go on that that theory right there. They just hate me. Yeah. I'll grab that. I think this takes us out. Is it not? Am I mistaken? I am entirely mistaken. Yeah, I was entirely mistaken. Yeah, well, that happens. I hate to tell you, but your streamer is not infallible. That's the key. None of these. There we go. Metrica Province. I got turned around. I was all confused. And now we're going to do, this is the Asura starting area. The Asura look a little bit like cute, floppy-eared, sort of short race you would find in most any other, say, Asian MMOs, except they've got teeth, mouths filled with shark-like teeth, and they are sociopaths. So a little bit less on the cute.
Welcome to Metrica Province.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you.
Problem. Blaze contamination. How do we clean up after a spill of magical energy?
However, you can still certainly cutify them. But as a species, they're really not cute. They're really awful. Narcissistic, sociopathic. I went the wrong one. Next one over, I guess. Hey, Kanaka, how you doing?
Who's this worker you're dating?
Ah, but they're short. And I believe I have been told that you're tall. Therefore, you would not make a very good Asura. Also, I imagine you don't have big floopy ears. I don't know that for a fact. Certainly, if you had big floopy ears, I wouldn't hold it against you. You see, that's an Asura. Big floopy ears, short. They from a distance you might find them to be either
that the inquest is recruiting.
deformed or cute.
No matter how bored or hungry.
There's no doubt, however, they are sociopaths.
It can't be that bad. Genius turned evil.
The rest of your face is horribly disproportioned. Does that count? I don't know. If gaming in general is to be any sort of example about these kinds of things, there are lots of people who find that cute. I personally do not have any strong feelings either way. I was going to say I try not to judge, but that's not true. I judge everybody and everything pretty much all the time. Kind of a dick that way. There we go. Toolbox is up, and our first heart on the new map is complete. Dun dun. The Asura are also big on technology, or at least technology magic interface. They are the I would describe them as probably my favorite of any of the cutesy races in any of the MMOs and the such, because of all of their genuinely horrifying behaviors.
How are your endeavors progressing?
They're just awful.
Weaponry. Attention, battle lovers! You're in for quite a show. These prototype golem cannons are amazing. The time has come to decide who
I got all this. Where are we off to next? Next. Up there. Grab the Vista. They're big on golems and experimenting on sentient creatures. Sometimes at the same time. They famously used to live underground, appropriately, until they were chased out by
Target located. Stand by for
the Destroyers, minions of Primordus, one of the Elder Dragons.
Apologies for any trauma I may have caused you.
Vacate these premises.
trust your instincts. Come, sign up with the
And in a interesting irony, having been chased off by the Destroyers, people interested in purchasing real estate were more likely to want to move in there with the Destroyers than they were with the Asura. Go figure. I made that last part up.
with the inquest today.
Your road to greatness starts by joining the inquest. Do you agree?
Impressionable progeny.
How are your endeavors progressing?
My professor gave me an unsolvable problem. No one's ever been able to crack it. I'm thinking of just giving up. Even working on an unsolvable problem can help sharpen your mind. I never thought about it that way. It is always a pleasant surprise to stumble across a point of view that isn't mind-numbingly idiotic.
Joining the inquest.
There
Do
we
you
go.
agree?
That's them in a minute, in a nutshell. Everybody is stupider than them. But especially everyone who isn't Asura is stupider than them.
Do you desire unrivaled power?
Trust your
Speak
instincts.
with me if you're interested.
Sign up with the inquest
Zero
today.
time. Your road to greatness starts by joining the inquest. Do you agree?
Just mad there's presumably no romance option. Oh, contraire. Interrace? They've never walked through that particular doorway yet. But for instance, despite the fact that Norns look like heavy-set, really large humans, they are in fact a different species, and they cannot propagate, but I guarantee you, as a slam dunk fact, that a lot of people have tried. I'm not as convinced about that with the Asura, although knowing human nature,
Do you desire unrivaled power? Speak with
Your
me.
road to greatness starts by joining the inquest.
I mean, there are numbers of humans who believe themselves to actually be animals stuck in a human skin. I am certain that there are some humans who would find Asura attractive. And I don't even want to talk about the Char. I mean, sort of a lion-bear crossbreed. Oh my, yeah, that's going to have furries. Full attention.
Feel the fury.
I don't know, however, how prevalent human interest in the Sylvari would be, given that the Sylvari are a species of plant thing, creature. Conversation's gone a little far afield, but it's still topical, so I'm going to allow it. The truth of the matter is, we humans are weird. But I assume, given the fact that you're on a planet
Fight.
with, in essence, at least 5 dominant species, which are mutually communicative, have friendships and the like occur, I'm sure experimentation goes on. It's not just a phase, Mom. And I'm not sure which of the various possibilities that this brings up is the most disturbing. I can assure you, however, having journeyed once, which was once too often, into, I think it was a subreddit on erotic Guild Wars 2 art, that I'm not the first person to wonder about these questions. Arborphilia, it doesn't surprise me in the least that it would be a thing. Now, we're in just talking about just the human paraphilias. There are lots and lots of people who have erotic attachment to inanimate objects, and I don't just mean like the "you're a fucking inanimate object" line from In Bruges. People in love with vehicles, carnally in love with vehicles, that kind of thing. Now, imagine what these other species, what their paraphilias might be. You have the Char, who are ultra carnivores, generally ultra predators. You have the plant-based Sylvari. You have the little brilliant sociopathic rat squirrels. And you have the giant ale-loving, look like humans but aren't humans. Then there are all the secondary species. The Skrit. 157. No, too small. And no, I'm not judging any of you. That is an improvement.
Now I shall break you.
The Skrit are more actually like squirrels. And they're really, really not intelligent. Except if you get two of them together, they're smarter than if there was just one. And in fact, they don't have a hive mind, but they have a hive IQ. The more of them that are in an area, the smarter they are. And so if you get a whole bunch of them in one place, I missed. They can be very smart indeed. You have the Grawl, who are a primitive, somewhat savage species. You've got the Moletariat.
Maximum pain.
The blind mole rat race. And all of these are sentient. Pardon the sneeze.
Time itself moves faster than you. Why me?
And we all know how weird humans can get, but my assumption is the other races are every bit as weird as humans.
Time to do some real damage.
Yay, event succeeded. More XP.
My
A
dreams, mine
resounding
never fail.
success.
Technology is so advanced that it can often seem
A
broken.
162 scepter? I don't think that's going to be good enough. It's not. But we have new boots, and as is the rule, a
Threshold
new item of
achieved.
attire means a new random die scheme. Our current attire, it's okay. I mean, that's not bad, right? It's about to get worse. Oh, that's mostly really quite discreet. We've got clay and fog, and then a couple little dashes of grape. Sure.
Interesting.
Give me a yellow card key. Yellow.
Greetings.
Yellow. That's blue. Where's yellow? Yellow. Oh, come on. How is it I can't find yellow? There we go. Yellow. Making which last one up? Just so I can defend myself. The mole rats, the blind mole rats, the moletariat. Not making that one up. Yep, I am serious. That's in the game. Communist. Blind mole rats as a humanoid race. Yeah, absolutely true. Completely understandable. You go, oh, I'm calling bullshit on that one. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's actually a thing. Oh, I am indeed serious. I don't think we run into any on this map. They mostly live underground, as you would expect. Big caverns under the various mountains. I don't think we've got any on this map. What's the name? God damn it. Military, the Dredge. The Dredge is the name of the race. Although, you cannot be serious is an entirely reasonable reaction to that.
I don't have enough energy.
I don't have enough energy. I had enough energy. I'm energetic. Try spear. No. Now, one thing I cannot attest to is to whether or not
Time to fight.
the Dredge were at least had that kind of detail about them in Guild Wars 1, as I've never met the Dredge in my somewhat limited time playing Guild Wars 1. They may be in Guild Wars 1 as well, I just don't know.
Good meeting.
No, much better. There we go, script-brained idiot. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for script-brained idiot.
Feel the fury.
Another new helm. That means we just got new dies, and now we're going to get newer dies. Here we go again. That's a little on the bright side. We've got a Nectar, Carnage Orange, and Shy Blue. Call me a script-brained idiot, please. Ow! Script-brained idiot is just much better. See? That guy gets to get called a script-brained idiot. Another heart complete. We are now 29% done with this map already. And we've barely begun.
This is the only proper course.
Let's see. Oh, we forgot one. Fortunately, we have a water speeder. Because we are one of the cool kids. Okay. Or, if you prefer something else, how about a little speed? And we are going to go into the Inquest establishment here. That's another level for me. That's level 31. Power and precision. Well, we got an improvement on our sword. Check and see if we've got more points. We do have more hero points. I think that's enough for us to finish off the Zeal line of traits. Indeed it is. choose that trait. Plus, we also have now access to elite skills. Sadly, I have not spec'd into any of my elite skills yet. Oh, let's go with Reaper of Grinth. Let's give ourselves the ability to turn into one of the minions, the harbingers of the god of death himself, because cool. I mean, who turns down an opportunity?
Off the mission. Smash those research pods before they can render more evil.
We've got an event here. Always do your events when you can, especially when you're leveling, because most of the time they give you double dip. You get XP for finishing off the event, and they tend to give progress towards the heart in the area as well.
We were amazing, but let's not celebrate just yet. We
Plus,
still have to get out of here in one
let's grab the hero point while we're here.
Inject some hustle in your
We get to fight a big robot.
Feel the fury.
And because I'm a hero, I get another hero point. Those two things go together, clearly.
Thank you for asking. I'd like you to meet my enforcers. Inquest Golem Assault Force, activate.
No, the gate. Your wicked creation controls it, I see.
Don't pretend to understand our device. You couldn't hope to fathom its capabilities and intricacies.
We're waiting for the next step in the event to kick off.
Intruders will be contained and eliminated.
Purge these golems from our world. I will
They're
not
still
tolerate
talking.
such evil.
Blah, 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 blah.
We can handle these bad ones without frustration.
Event successful.
As I expected, we did it. Follow me through. We're getting out of here.
No, that is not a thing I can shoot and get heart progress on. This one is one of the hearts that I think they ought to tune the value. So, for instance, every one of these data crystals that I pick up and I deliver to the NPC gives a very small amount of progress in completing the heart. Basically, it takes 100% to complete a heart, and everything you do, the little subtasks you can do within, provide some progress on the heart. Some of these are tuned in such a way that, well, I mean, they're all tuned in the core game, the way they were tuned at launch, as far as I know. But some of them really could use a little bit of a retune, because the order of magnitude difference between some of them take 5 times, maybe 10 times as long as some of the lesser ones. So, like that turned in a bunch of those crystals and got very, very little XP for it, or very little heart progress for it. Also, I need to be doing some mining, because I have an achievement that I need to take care of. One of the things they did a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, they added the character, what is it, advancement? Character Adventure Guide. And this is a really good way of, not quite power leveling, but speeding up your leveling process. They, not only do they give XP, they also are very, very useful in learning some of the game systems. Things like dodge rolling and brake bar and simple, straightforward stuff like that they really never taught you about in the game. At least at the time. Now that's changed. As now most of the time. Well, it's changed to a degree. I mean, we've got this, the adventure guide, and if you've got End of Dragons, they have the specific area where you learn mechanics, but a new player isn't necessarily going to learn those mechanics that are actually quite important to the game. This should be enough. Things like break bar, which on some mobs you'll note when you have them selected, they have a blue bar under their name. If you use a crowd control ability on them, that bar will be diminished. If you completely knock out the bar, depending on the mob, you'll be able to do more damage. It can stun them. Sometimes you can't damage them at all until you get through the break bar. So that's an example. So you have to know which of your skills have CC and which don't, so that you can choose your time and actually inflict crowd control effects on the mobs. It's a really important thing, especially if you're doing just open world stuff. You're fighting against, you know, boss mobs or world bosses, anything like that. Still trying to get used to the concept of the proletariat, which is understandable, yes. It does require a certain active embrace of the absurdity. Oh, and as an example of the always seeking for verisimilitude, the dredge can't be blinded. Seriously. The blind effect sounds like they could only be stupider if they were fighting the Moussoisie. Oh, very nice. I'm going to have to give you full credit on that one. The Moussoisie.
Interested in a study on Skrit intelligence?
Now here's the Skrit. We mentioned these earlier. I will zoom on them so you can see the Skrit. These are the Skrit. They're squirrel rat sort of things. They love technology. They are technologically dangerous. And they're the ones who get smarter the more of them there are. So, for instance, we have the Skrit IQ test subjects. Oh. You know, this one's attacked me.
Doesn't it?
I help you. You want to talk? I'd like to ask you a few questions. Oh, questions. Ask. What is the function of a plow? How? Plow. Plow is animal? No. Who is Queen Jenna? Sora. Important person? Astrologic. 2 humans and 4 char want to cross a river in a boat. If... No! I see. You look smart. Oh no, no more smarts. How long does it take spoiled milk to solidify? Who would eat spoiled milk? Do you know what moldy solid milk is called? Oh, I know this one. It's yuck, right? No, it's cheese. I just blew your mind. How many of them does it take to get past the nothing more dangerous than a user with some knowledgeable stage? Probably low teens. It seems like groups 8 to 10, they start figuring tech out and making useful objects, even if they're not elegant. But they would certainly be in the dangerous stage then, I would think. Not more questions. Why? Why? I did questions yesterday. Let's say apples cost 10 coins each, and I have 60 coins in my pocket. Shinies! Shinies in pocket? Give me shinies in pocket. Shinies, give. We'll try something different. Doliak. A leaves the Meridian Uplands heading east. Shinies! Shinies in pocket. Give me shinies. Pocket shinies. Shinies. I don't have any shinies in my pocket. None. 0. Zilch. Oh, then no apples. These are the Skrit. Generally, they are friendly. They're friendly spirits. That's an old reference. But sometimes, well, not always. Let's just go with not always. Just like sometimes we fight the dredge, and sometimes we fight with the dredge. The Grawl, too, for that matter. As I have noted in the past, humans are an invasive species on this planet. Some amount of time ago, I don't know the exact time scale any longer, if I ever did, the human gods opened a portal from another world, brought in the humans. Since then, the human gods have left. Their reason, which sounds suspiciously like bullshit, was, well, if we ever got in a fight with the dragons, we'd destroy the world. Sounds to me like they were afraid that the dragons would kill them, and just decided to leave their pet humans behind.
Stuff.
Okay, we got more stuff. Can't wear, can wear, new pants. 317, sword either hand, right? Yep. And we now have 2 swords, so we can swap to those if we want. We'll salvage those 2 things.
The task at hand.
But because we got a new item of attire, that means once again, random dice. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We have Wrath. Nice name for a red dye, gotta say. Cucumber. Wrathful Cucumber sounds like a dirty joke. And Jacaranda. Jacaranda are a particularly annoying type of critter that we first ran into in Path of Fire, I think. And just to provide some amusement value, there is a jumping puzzle in this general vicinity. Did I miss it? Where's the JP? It's down here a little further, I think. How many of them does it take? Oh, we already did that. F? Oh, yeah. Well, yes. I'm okay at jumping puzzles. I'm not good at them. I'm okay. I also have the cheating device. It's technically not cheating in that I've earned it and bought it. And it doesn't make you succeed at them. I don't think it's in here. This is the wrong cave. I'm in the wrong cave. More script everywhere, though.
That's right.
I think it's up there. So we'll get to that in a minute. This particular one, however, is pretty difficult. And is one of those I have solved at least the first time, if not every time, with a guide. Following, a YouTube guide. Ah, this is no cave. Are you implying that it is a large space-dwelling worm? I have a question about how such a large space-dwelling worm would survive, given that it doesn't appear to be any particularly odd form of life that could survive as a cave. It tries to eat their ship, so maybe it is some form of geophage. It somehow eats rock and gets nutrition and building materials. Certainly building materials would work. But nutrition from it?
No.
It's a question. Perhaps it lets the Minox live in it, and then every once in a while it swallows a bunch of them? In which case, what are the Minox eating? Yeah, but what are they eating then? Because the rest of the time there's no ship for them to eat. So, were they eating the electrical power or the cables? I always assumed they were eating the cables, but I'm certainly willing, because I know you're more educated in Star Warsian things. I am willing to accept that, in fact, it may have been that they were eating the power. But I always assumed it was like they were chewing on the cables and stuff. Yes, well, I have certainly reached that point in the analysis of beloved media.
Unable to render response.
There's only so many times you can get into the conversations. Why didn't they fly on the Eagles to Mount Doom? The famous "Fly, you fools" reference, of course. Well, there's a chest there. I think I know. Yeah. We've got another hero point over here. There. We will find. Well, first of all, I'll go in and get the POI. Nazgul fell beasts, good answer. The servants of Manwë are not servants of man, and Ballista. Certainly, the Eagles make their choices quite selectively. I read a letter that was purported to have been from Tolkien, a response to that question, wherein he sort of talks a little bit about narrative structure and story requirements, and then finishes off with something like, and in the final analysis, shut the hell up. I don't know if it was real or not, but it worked. I will commence. We'll see if I can remember this. Bring on your test. Who am I? You're Ula, lab genius. What is the second rule of the lab? I'm not in charge. The two important ideas are necromancy and golomancy. What are we? We embody magic. I passed. See? I just know all the answers. Naturally, because I'm so smart. It has nothing to do with me having done that particular series of questions 40 or 50 times. I promise?
I was manufactured to the highest standards.
Go away. Kid, you bother me. Alright, this is the jumping puzzle. I will fail, much to your entertainment. This isn't really the jumping puzzle yet. In fact, I don't even need to jump this part. This part's flyable. So that's not the real jumping puzzle. It's sort of a jumping puzzle. If you don't have a mount, you're going to have to do the jumping puzzle stuff. This is the start of the jumping puzzle. But it's just the start. I'm not going to do the whole thing unless I get hilariously lucky and don't plummet to a painful death. Odds of that? Really slim. 258 versus 255. Wow, that's such an upgrade. How can I say no?
Sweet, sweet
loot.
We go through here. Bloop. You see all that stuff to the left? Yeah. That's a fake. The real JP is down there. Which is why I never succeeded on this until I watched a video. I went, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So all that part over there, yeah, that's a fake. It's a fake out. And that's why I didn't feel that forever. Looks less painful. Oh, painful. Yeah, I've played an awful lot of Star Wars The Old Republic. The jumping puzzles in a game that's not designed to support them, and it never was designed to support them. The jumping puzzles in Star Wars The Old Republic were nothing but painful. They always felt like pure luck was involved. Even if you did everything perfectly, it could potentially take up to an hour to reach the damn thing, yeah. Now there's wind blowing across. That's the fall. It's not supposed to take me back to... Oh, the Golem Assistant took me. Transport me to Windy Station. There we go. That's not where I was supposed to go. I made it all the way over to there. What the hell was wrong with that? I was supposed to go over there. Missed it by that much. Another Star Wars note. One of your tunes on restoration got his inciting incident, apparently a rare occurrence. I'm now torn about whether or not to pursue Jedi status on that tune. Congratulations, first of all. And I certainly would understand why you would want to. I have died. Yeah, I'll just return to waypoint right there. How about that? Let's pretend I didn't actually die. I wouldn't be able to not try. I understand that you are a bounty hunter for life. But still, I would have to give it a shot. So that was the jumping puzzle that I told you I was going to look at and fail. 2 other tunes unlocking would give you a 4th.
Any plan that involves raptors is by design foolproof. I'm an unmitigated genius.
I'm an unmitigated genius. Any plan that involves raptors is by design foolproof. And that is a perfect example of Skrit. Sorry, of Sura. Jeez, Skrit. Oh, you really make people mad. You create a Jedi and turn him into a crafter. and only make guns. Cherry Coke in the nose. Victory is mine. I didn't want to kill the worm, but they made me kill the worm. I'm here to kill oozes. Oh, this is one of those. It's so unfun. It takes so long to get the oozes to do everything that you need the oozes to do. Kill enough oozes, it's just tedious. So this is one of those ones that they need to redo. Change the values. Name your gun store Uncivilized Weapons for an uncivilized time. And translucent ooze, or translucent.
Step right up.
It's kind of a portmanteau word.
Try a bottle of Dr. Bleed's Ooze Booze. There's nothing this wonder beverage can't do.
Yes, I know there are Force-sensitive crafting bonuses. I always wondered if they ever, how often they get used. Ah, or another idea. Specialize in harvesting wind on Tatooine. Turn yourself into a wind farmer on Tatooine. Saw an ad for Force-sensitive armorsmith in the Discord. I need a couple more red oozes. Red oozes. Well, actually, any color of ooze will do in a storm. Like a port. This should do it. Event was successful. I helped Point get some raptor eggs, and yeah, evidently that's his name, Point. Alright, we have finished off another heart. What are we at? 50, 60%? 55%. Pretty good guessing. Let's see. Yes, we need to get that hero point. Oh, and that's right. Another race I had forgotten about. The Hylic. Frogs.
You win. I die.
Frogs. Frog race. I have noted in the past, and it is something I certainly feel, that I am not a fan of games. MMOs do it mostly. Deciding that they're going to create a new race, and the new race they create is just an animal version of a human. EverQuest was the by far the worst of the offenders. Where their frog race is the Froglocks. WoW has the fox race. Volpera. It's like, oh, come on, guys. You know, if you've got to create a creature that is a frog-based human or a fox-based human, could you at least give them a name that doesn't have frog in it? I'm kind of willing to cut... I'm not familiar with the bullywugs. I'm kind of willing to give the murlocs kind of a break because they're sort of fish-like, but they're not really fishes. They're not really frog-like. They are a sort of an aquatic, and at least they don't have a name like Froglock.
Time to do some real damage.
You know, I'm not a huge fan in this game of the Sylvari, who are the plant-based race. But it's not because of their design or anything. You know, they are based on plants and plant-based humanoids. They have a lore reason for existing.
You asked for this.
Spoiler. They were created by one of the elder dragons. Hero point.
You crossed the line.
You know, I like the Asura as a race because they don't have an animal that they're based on specifically. The Skrit kind of do. The Grawl don't. The Char they have obvious cat influences, but also have influences, I think, that are more like bear or dog. And they have horns, so there's a little bit of bull in there too. You know, so they're not just a straight, oh, we give them a lion's head and we'll call them the Leonors. I made that up. I hope. You can ignore Discord message a picture of Bullywug to look at later. Chimeras. See, now, Chimeras are the classical combo. I actually had to identify one for a friend of ours in common, Tip Top, the other night, who didn't realize that he said it looked like a goat riding a lion. I said, is that a chimera? Because goats and lion heads are mythical chimera normalcies. In this particular case, the Char just have mostly feline features, but not exclusively. So I think that kind of I'm more willing to give them a pass for that. All right, let's see. All right, sword 282, 317. Oh, that's a new sword. Chest we can't wear.
This is the only proper course.
A focus. 258 top end damage. Let's see the focus. Also the same, so no.
Threshold achieved.
Hammer with 239. Not as good. And we have an unidentified die now. I'm not going to identify that. Do you want to know why? I'll tell you why. These are the die palettes. We have the starter dies. Everyone gets those at the start of the game. Common dies. This can identify into common, uncommon, and rare dies. I have all the common dies. I have all the uncommon dies. I have all of the rare dies. And I have most of the exclusive dies. Exclusive dies can't show up in that. So I'll open it up. It's an uncommon. Walnut. Sort of a dull brown. Man, we're turning everything here just so you can see. Yeah, all of this that's actually walnut. Sort of a brownish gray. So I'm going to mail that to my alt account. If my alt account already has it, it goes into the guild vault. where any of my guildies can gleefully glom it. Because I don't know about you, but when I want to glom something, I want to do it gleefully.
This'll be fun.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy a nice glom? Shiny. Where's Rickety going? Rickety? Stuff! This guy is helping him. I will let that guy help him. Hopefully I will get a small amount of XP for helping out in a minimal fashion. But if you're leveling, most of the time, unless an event is likely to be a double dip, generally it isn't worth the amount of time it's going to take. But if you can double dip, then it's always worth it. A double dip would be if it also gives you progress towards whatever the heart may be in the area. We're currently at 62% done with the map. Ideally, I would like to finish off this map as well before I call it an evening. We'll see if that works in quite the way we hope it will. That would be nice. Mosquitoes. Skeeters. Nobody likes skeeters. There is another hero point tucked away in here. And if anyone's been here in a while, like say that person, nope, they haven't been there because there's a veteran air elemental. That can be a tough one for an on-level character. Now, mind you, you do have level scaling, but you've got additional skills, additional stats on your weapons and everything, so even with level scaling, generally speaking, you're significantly more powerful than an on-level character would be. Not always. You can still get yourself dead if you're not paying attention or you overpull or something like that. Take on a champion, say. Did I get more hero points? We're level 32. We don't get our next specialization until 45. So that's where we want to go next. That'll give us our first elite skill. We have the elite skill slot open, but I'm using one of the racial elites. And generally the racial elites aren't very good. In fact, they're generally pretty terrible. That's intentional. That's a design choice. Because if your racial exclusive abilities are bad, then there is no right choice to make in creating a character. You can use whatever race you want. They're mostly just for flavor.
Feel the fury.
So, for instance, because this character is human.
Charging.
Event succeeded. That one. The various skills I can choose are all based on the human gods. The death god. Melandro's the healing nature god, I think. Mistfire Wolf. That one's not specific. That was for buying the pre-order. And then the Hounds of Balthazar, the war god.
Feel the
fury.
who was the primary antagonist in Path of Fire.
Sensors detect presence of unknown life form. Scanning. Student number 152634. Approach.
We're going to fight him, and we're going to turn into one of Grenth's little friends.
Tactics tutorial initiated. Prepare to be educated.
Aren't I scary and spooky looking?
Student number 152634.
What it does
Scored
is
90
I become a
out of
Reaper of Grenth, I
100%.
chill and poison
Pass.
nearby foes.
Tutorial shutdown imminent.
And it's got a 3-minute cooldown, so it's a really bad elite skill, but it's all I got access to right now are the human racials. So there are, amongst the Asura, a wide variety of different schools of learning. 3 primary ones that you have to choose from on character creation. And there's also the Inquest, who are sort of the Asura storyline bad guys. But you'll note, they're also human. Also Asura. Just like most of the bad guys in the human storyline, at least early on, are other humans. Seems like we're all fighting amongst ourselves within each race, let alone between the races. Can't we all just get along? Evidently no, is the answer.
Feel the fury.
Feel it. Feel it right in your face. I'm furying in your face. Which really kind of sounds wrong. 2, 3, bong. Big explodies. For Inquest Technician. Need one more, or maybe the lab table will do. I'm going to blow up the lab table. I think that'll be sufficient to finish off this heart. Dun, 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 and bingo. And there's a vista around this corner. Pretty. Where are we at? 75? 70. 70% done. Another event. This is, again, more Inquest. And we will make with the shooting of the Inquests many times. Hi, guys. How you doing? How about I just shoot you a lot? Inquest golem leg. Who doesn't like golem parts? I always like to turn in some of the requirements for the event so that if the event suddenly ends and I don't notice, don't have time, I at least get partial credit. However, this does not appear to be advancing any conveniently located heart. It's all Mounties. And we're going to murder some mosquitoes. Because because they do advance the event. Or the heart, I should say. Energy distortion, we poke at it, and an air elemental pops up. Skeeters and air elementals. I still don't know what I'm going to do on Friday, as I have 3 things I want to get done. One of them is the new PoE League starts. And even with my issues with PoE over the last few years, the last league was really good. And I've streamed, I think, all of them since I got wired into the game a while back. So that's one of the things that I want to do. Also, there is a group of 2 groups, actually, one in North America and one in EU, who do raid training for Guild Wars 2 here. I would kind of like to give raiding a shot. I mean, I have raided in WoW. I was tired of raiding in WoW. But I did that for a few years. So I have raided, but I've not raided in this game. I do know, yeah, it does mean grouping up. But in this particular case, these people are knowledgeable and are used to helping people do away with some of the infelicitous elements of grouping up, like assholes. They will drop kick you to the curb the instant you display any assholiness in a group that they're trying to teach people. And given it'll be a bunch of new raiders, I feel relatively confident in my ability to provide, if not optimal numbers, passable ones.
This is most remarkable.
Will I be leading the DPS meters? Probably not. Will I be in last place? Probably not. But you're not wrong to mention raiding means grouping. For those who are not aware, I am historically not much on grouping. I say that, but then I was just talking about my years spent raiding in WoW. One of the things about raiding, in my experience, is there is a certain similarity to the way I'll put it is, I like to play at my own pace in most games. I'm not an optimizer. And one of the reasons I don't historically group up all that much is because of pace. Either people tend to go way slower than I want or way faster than I want. And in raiding, because there's more players, that's more likely to happen. Now, if I'm playing with players I know, then that, I think, is quite different. But then, it's similar to the analogy I've made in the past is doing group content of any significant size in any game is you have what I call the intramurals problem. If you were ever in college or university and involved in sports or any of the sort of team pastimes, let's say. So, if, intramural, we used to play when I was in college. We had intramurals for, we played intramural frisbee, we played intramural softball. And what I mean by the intramurals problem is, at least when I was in college, back in the mid-17th century, yeah, it could be sweaty. But there were two different leagues, for instance, if you're playing softball. Two different leagues you could sign up for, the comp league and the rec league. The recreational league is you play for fun. The competitive league is you're playing to win. And as long as everyone on the team is on the same page, like, okay, we're going to play comp league, all right? Everyone's going to be competitive. Don't fuck around. We expect you to, practice with us once a week, say. And we've got games, twice a week. We expect everyone to show up, take it serious, and we're going to try to win. Or rec league. We're going to show up. We're going to have fun. We're not going to have any goddamn practices. We're going to screw around. We're just going to have a blast. Either one of those is great. The problem is if you get 9, 10 people together for a softball team, because you've got 9 or 10 friends, even if everyone says, yeah, we're going to play rec league, some of them are going to treat it like it's comp league. They're going to be super serious. They're going to get mad at people who aren't trying as hard as they think they should. Or the reverse. You're going to get people who are in the comp league playing grab ass, not taking it serious at all. And that's going to piss the other people off. And that's what I have experienced in raiding, is there are those who are going to take it super serious and sweaty, and there are those who are not. And if everyone's not on the same page, over time, people are going to get pissed off at each other. And that's why I decided to stop raiding, is I was tired of being angry at my friends. Mostly remember the cheers in Vent the first time we took down the Balrog. Yeah, and that's as long as everyone's on the same page. If you're making progress, most of the time, even the super sweaties are going to be okay. But imagine if you've got a couple people in the group who aren't taking it seriously. They're not doing their job. They're not making any advancement, and they're slowing the whole place down. Then it's a cause for people to be angry at friends. One of the other things about raiding that I found, and this is definitely just a me thing, the other thing, and again, just completely a me thing. This is not an everyone thing or a most people thing. This is entirely a me thing. I'm going to draw a similarity here to an extremely popular game. The extremely popular game is any of the game or games, I should say, is any of the Souls-alikes, where you fight a mob and it kills you, and you fight a mob and it kills you, 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 and you finally succeed and you kill it, and you get that huge rush of endorphins in your brain, and it's, I want to give me the next monster. Yeah, I don't get that. Ever. I don't get that burst of endorphins that other people get. What do I get? I get, thank God it's over. So that's another part of the raiding experience that made things more difficult for me, is I don't get the huge rush that other people get.
Time to do some real damage.
These things are immune to fire. Care to guess what a good chunk of my damage is? Spoiler, fire. Hence you might see them popping up immune over their heads. That's damage that I'm not doing. There we go. All right. Now, so that one is completely a me issue. So those two things is what sort of eventually soured me on raiding in WoW. The first was inconsistent approaches to the endeavor by different players. You know, for instance, I would always show up 10 minutes early. I'd always have my ducks in a row. I'd always have all of the stuff I needed for the raid we were running. And then someone would show up 20 minutes late and need another 20 minutes to get all of their stuff ready. You know, so they're killing 40 minutes from everyone in the group. And that's one of my personal bugaboos. I just go crazy about people wasting other people's time.
Replenishing.
You know, if you've ever had a friend who's always late to everything, it's I go berserk. I can't handle that at all. So those sort of things, you know, the things that are making me angry at my friends is why I wanted to stop raiding. So I'm going to see what the raid, you know, I've watched a lot of raiding get done in Guild Wars 2. So I'm familiar with some of the fights, a lot of the mechanics and whatnot. I want to see what the experience is like. If it's a fun experience, it might be something I would like to do. So that's thing 2 that I want to get done this weekend is the Raiding Academy, I think is the North American group. Friday through Sunday are going to be running just bajillions of groups through raiding to start teaching them raiding. I don't think I want to stream that because watching other people learn to do content is not especially interesting most of the time. So the other thing I'm thinking about streaming, along with, let me grab this POI, along with PoE, is something from Star Trek Online, of all things. A few months back, before their anniversary, they had a sale in what's referred to as Mud's store. I'll spare you the details. And there was a ship I was interested that I could get. And I finally had enough currency to get it. And I talked myself out of it. New pants. Ding 33. I talked myself out of it because the anniversary was coming up and the general consensus on Reddit was that there'd be really, really good offerings for the anniversary. That turned out not to be the case. So I didn't get the ship I wanted. I finally had the currency to do it, but I didn't. But now on Friday, another sale is coming in, and I'll be able to get that ship I wanted, plus like 6 other ships. So I am tempted to probably start up a new Romulan character and play, I think it is the Valdor. Here's the ship I want. It is an enormous cloaking carrier ship of Romulan make. And I've wanted that ship for a long time, and I'm going to get that. And there's a 3-ship package. Not the Scimitar. The Valdor. I think the Scimitar, if memory serves, was 1 hangar. It's part of the pack that will be coming on Friday. One of the packs has that. It has the Universe class. Enterprise, I think. You know, the stupid big one. You got your Dederadex and never look back. Did you get which Dederadex? The Dederadex or the legendary Dederadex? Did you get? The T6. Okay. But this is the pack, which has got, I think it's the Valdor. Begins with a V for sure. But it also has the super big Enterprise model from the future. I think that's the Universe class. And it has a Klingon super duper big ship too. But it's a MUDs pack, so you get to choose 3. Those 3 is one of... Yeah, I was a rabbit very briefly there. Those 3 ships is one of the packs you can choose. And you can choose 3 packs. So I'll get those 3 ships. There's another 3-ship pack. And then there's 2 T6 ticket you can get as well as one of the packs. So I'm looking at getting a mere 8 ships instead of the previous 1 that I was interested in. I was briefly a rabbit. I will probably be a rabbit again. As when you touch chaotic material, well, you turn into a rabbit. Like that. But I did 84 damage to him in rabbit shape. 85. That rabbit's dynamite. A very good eyesight, actually, to pick up the fact that I was, briefly, a rabbit. Now, twice. Let's see, will I be a rabbit or perhaps a cat this time? Nope, rabbit again. And I almost killed the Chaos Beast that time. No, that time I just got knocked back. And then I made with the shooties. So those are the things I'm looking at for this weekend. I'm not sure. It's unlikely to be that I will do the raid training, because there's no guarantee I'll get in at a useful time. And you know, if I'm in somebody else's Discord, it's a little bit rude for me to, you know, broadcast that without notifying them. That's just an entire different kettle of fish. So I will not be streaming that. So that basically leaves either Star Trek Online with me playing, I think it's the Valdor. Now I have to check. No, it's the Valkis. Sorry. It's the Valkis. And it's a beautiful ship. Let's see. I can even show you. Bear with me for a second here. That's the Valkis. So I think you can see why I might be interested in such a boner-inducing vehicle. You did lose interest in STO when they went all in on Discovery, loathe everything Kurtzman's done to Star Trek. Understandable. Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff that I'm not nuts about in the last and many seasons, where they're supporting all the shows that I'm not watching. I understand why. Because it's the new content, and they assume that that's what the people want to see. And that's another heart completed. So it's not the Valdor, it's the Valkis. I knew it was Val something. Comic Sense is up, thank you. Not sure how I managed to click that. But I did. Thank you for letting me know. I was not actually AFK. Where are we at? 90%. We've got 1 heart left, 1 hero point, 1 Vista. It always seems weird. It's 2 waypoints and then 2 POIs. Alright, one of them's just due east. Can I get out here? This is not an exit. This is not the way out. But the PoE League's a little bit of a crapshoot. Last PoE League was really good, but it was the best league, in my mind, that they've had in 2 or 3 years. Certainly the one I played the most. There were others that I hardly played at all, so that's a bit of a crapshoot. All right, anything else in the northern end here? No. Okay. All the way over there? Not sure where I missed it, but I did. So exactly what I'm going to do, dunno. Just dunno. Alright, this guy will point me at the heart that I missed.
The Hylic are a curious species. Some are
there's the
brutish
Vista I
monsters,
missed. I've got that
some
heart.
border on civility.
Yeah, you want
The
to...
tribe in the Quaddle Morass are vicious.
Oh, in the morass, alright. Right in morass, you know? Yeah, I missed the one that was right in morass. I'm going to say morass again. Morass. I flew up to this one earlier, and I guess I didn't hit F. Because I'm not as smart as I like to think I am.
Time to do some real damage.
I'm doing some real damage, all right. Raiders. Oh, he's invulnerable. That's a jerk move. Come on, be vulnerable, thank you. So I can set you on fire. Frog legs for dinner. I've never actually had frog legs. I wouldn't mind trying them, certainly. Alright, well, we got the event complete, and we got, halfway done with the heart. Where do you think you're going? I'm not going to allow you to simply run away like that. Let's res this poor dead frog. Often said to taste like chicken because of their mild flavor with the texture. That's certainly the chicken taste is what I've always heard. I would certainly try them. There are very few foods I would not try. Amongst those would be balut, fetal duck egg, Hakarl, I think is the name. There are a couple of Scandinavian delicacies. One is Icelandic, I think, where they take birds and they sew them up in a seal and let it ferment for months. I'm not making this up. Another one is shark that they ferment that is apparently incredibly ammoniac filled with the flavor of ammonia. And the third is lutefisk, where they apply lye to the fish and then wash it all clean, and it has the texture of gelatin. So, yeah, those are the things that I have no interest at all in ever even being in the same postal code with. I have had, for instance, I've had haggis. And haggis isn't bad, honestly. It's a slightly gamey hash. That's what it tastes like. And with nips and tatis, turnips and potatoes, and gravy, it's actually pretty good. Ortolan, that's a really good pull. Oh, we've got a script burglar. I doubt I'll kill him in time. Most people are not familiar with Ortolan. An Ortolan is a small bird. It's mostly a French thing, but not exclusively a French thing. I guess we may kill him with two of us. It's a small bird. They are prepared by drowning them in brandy, I think. And the reason is to get their lungs full of the brandy. And then they are cooked, and you hold them by the beak, and you eat the entire thing, bone and all. Bones and all, I should say. I don't know. I would have to consider my options if I was offered a chance to eat ortolan. Tony Bourdain tried ortolan. So a lot of the people who would be complaining about eating anything like ortolan often are the kind of people who think quite highly of Tony Bourdain, who I also think highly of. It did it again. This is one of the things I find excruciatingly irksome. Is you can have two underwater weapons, but there's no case where you would want two of the same weapon. But by default, it doesn't intelligently swap them. Drives me crazy, which is a short trip, I will grant.
Target destroyed.
I don't think it can be that difficult to code that up. The French put a towel over their head while eating the ortolan. Yeah, it's to keep the aroma in, although the joke the French make is that they're hiding their shame from God. We had a new piece of gear, a tire, so we have a new random die selection. Here we go. That is the Deep, Mint, and Worn Bone. I should note that eating ortolan is against the law in the EU, even in France. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Obviously, Tony Bourdain ate it. Famously, François Mitterrand had ortolan for his last meal as he was dying. Most of the people who complain about it, and mind you, I can understand that drowning something, even in something like brandy, is pretty awful. But they like to talk out how it's an endangered species. It is on the list of species at the least endangered setting. Basically, not actually endangered. Now, if you disapprove, understandably, because of the whole drowning them in brandy or cognac. Maybe it's cognac. Anyway, I can certainly understand that. That's a good reason to be against it. Right up against the door, and that is map completion. We're going to teleport ourselves to the Mistlock Sanctuary. We're going to open our box of goodies and hope that we hit the 30% or so. That'll give us a Black Lion key. It'll be exciting. That is Exemplary Exploration of Metrica Province from the Explorers Society, the Eterian Explorers Society. Thinks I'm awesome. They have taste. Over here, we wanted to finish up the Signet training to give ourselves Signet of Courage. So we now have a real elite skill. Yay! We'll start training up our shouts. We'll sell the junk in our trunk, so to speak.
Goodbye.
Drop that off into the bank. That's the trading post. And that's the bank. That was a level up for using the bank, because this character had never used the bank, and that's one of the things they teach you about in the adventure guide. So, yeah, free level. Nah, I was close to the level anyway, let's be clear. And a present for leveling. Speed booster. Alright, drum roll please. We have a 30% chance for a Black Lion key, which allows us to open a Black Lion chest, which will give us a shot at some more goodies, but probably not. No key. I was robbed. I would like to object in the most strenuous terms imaginable. That's a 219 hammer. Hammer? Mace. 219 mace. The mace I currently have is more. And shoulders, not as good as what I'm wearing, and a transmutation charge.
Threshold achieved.
Well, we got, what, 12 levels tonight? Something like that? I started earlier today, though, so I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 levels tonight? Not sure. But we did what I wanted to do. We finished off one map, then did an entire second map. Just wanted to do some leveling on this character. Getting the hang of the new weapon combo for Guardians, which is pistol-pistol. Pistol main hand and pistol offhand. It's a condition damage set. You get bleeding, burning and vulnerability, bleeding and cripple, burning and burning. Who doesn't like burning? Probably the people on fire. But I'm going to call it here for the evening. I know it's a little low energy this evening, but like I say in the subject, the advantage of being a variety streamer is I can play what I want. The disadvantage is people may not want to watch it. But tonight, I decided I was going to play this. I don't know what I'm going to be playing tomorrow. I have no clue. Thank you, Canucket, and good night to you as well. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe. I've got some errands to run earlier in the day, but they should not interfere with my gaming evening. So, I'm going to call it here. I hope the rest of your Tuesday night goes great. It's Tuesday, right? Yep. And that your Wednesday goes quickly, hump day, and you start coasting towards your weekend. I should be back tomorrow, the usual time. Hopefully, you will see me soon. Have a great night tonight. Take care, and ciao for now. Good night, guys. Thanks again for hanging out.